Hi, today I want to discuss about the security in banking applications. We all know in IT industry, teams used to develop applications for banking domain as well, banking sector. So many banking clients they will come for IT for building their applications as per the requirement. No, the thing is, when IT team they are building an applications, the developers are building an applications. It is very important to take the factor of security. So, because banks always deals with the customer data, it always deals with the transactions, money. It is a very sensitive data. So, it is the first and foremost important factor for any developer to secure the application. Whenever they are building application, they have to make sure the application was integrated with the proper security. I want to explain you what kind of security things and factors consider when we are building banking applications, banking related applications. So many in the so many components has to be secured. They have to be secured. So it is a multi-layered defense, defenses like strong authentication. Generally, whenever we are logging into banking application, you take any net banking for any banking application. First, we will have a login page, right? So it basically involves multi-factor authentication, biometrics. It just not only asks your user ID password. Sometimes it will generate a OTP, and then user has to look at that OTP and has to enter that. That way, multi-factor authentication can be implemented, and also data encryption. In generally, we have a middle layer and we will have a backend layer also. The data will be it will be transferred from backend to middle layer and to front end. So there should be a security in transit when data is transferring. So there also it should be the data should be secured. It should be encrypted. So that kind of scenario we call it as a data transit, right? So data security in transit and data security at rest. What is data security in transit? Whenever data is transferring from client to from middleware and middleware to backend layer, your servers may have be located in different countries. So then data will be transferred, right? It will be in motion. When data is in motion, somebody man in the middle person, so they can attack it, right? So that is why we need a security encrypt. We need to encrypt the data when it is getting transferred, right? That is called data in transit. So we need a security in transit. We need a security at rest. Whenever data is stored in databases, people sometimes they exploit it. The data, they can break into the databases also. They will, once they get the access for the databases, they can read all the data. They can, you know, scrap the data. They can manipulate it. That is why we need a security at rest also. So secure the coding. So securing the application is also important. Generally, we will perform some penetration testing, security test, like checking the manual testing. Generally, we'll perform manual test to identify any input validation is wrong, exploitation is there. If any exploitation can happen using different inputs, we will check that. So code security is very important. We need to secure the application. We have many securities like JWT, OAuth2 framework using JWT, JSON Web Tokens. Is recently very good security framework that most of the application designs they are adapting this one, OAuth2 along with JWT. And also we need to have a network security. We need to secure the network also. When we are talking about banking application, we have to take all these factors into consideration, because we have to go for defense in depth. Each and every layer we have to secure. So the thing is the network security. We can have a firewalls. We can actually, firewalls means we can only whitelist the required uh, request transfer to the we can actually control the ingress and egress. That way we can actually create a security in our network using firewall segmentation. Identity access management is also providing access to particular identity, and the roles, as creating a roles and assigning the roles and identity management. And continuous monitoring testing is also required, audits and AI fraud detection. um, these are all very important factor when we are dealing with the banking application, because our mandatory and priority thing is to protect the sensitive customer data from the breaches. If the data breach happens, so it will be huge loss if it is a banking sector. That is why when we take a supply chain, e-commerce domain or healthcare or some other domains, the banking sector is a very sensitive domain, because it deals with the money and transactions, right? So we have to secure the application infrastructure, and servers, code and everything, we have to secure it. So the key security components, as I explained you, so application security, application levels, secure the application code, and the artifacts, wherever you are deploying it, we have to make sure. Data protection, and protect the data, you have to encrypt the data at rest, encrypt the data in transit. You can use the secure socket layer, TLS, these protocols, you can secure it. Network security, you can create a firewalls, intrusion detection systems, segmentation, zero trust architecture. You can actually secure the network. And identity access management, controlling the access, who have access for what, using a strong authentication like my multi-factor authentication, biometrics, you can achieve it. Endpoint security is also very important nowadays. Securing the application is not only the concern here. You need to secure the endpoint. Sometimes people use tablets, they use mobile, they use PCs, then they may use different browsers also. If the browsers are anything that they are accessing these sites, if they are injected with the virus, there may be a chance that may lead to the exploitation of the application. That is why some of the applications, they immediately secure the browser, whatever the browser that you are going to use, the endpoint, right? So protecting the endpoint, phones, PCs, whatever, using antivirus security patches. So generally, if you take a bank application, then all the system will be installed with some antivirus to protect the PC endpoint. They will make sure that no threat will happen to, no breach will happen to the application. So secure development lifecycle, integrating the security testing, risk assessment, regular audits. These things have to be done to avoid the problems, to mitigate the risk. Basically, we have to take these concerns there. And man in the middle attack is one of the important thing. Just remember, um, we have to use secure socket, SSL, TLSL, TLS, for encrypting communication, advanced securing protocols, right? Avoid the public Wi-Fi, definitely, because it is a banking application. Session hijacking, implement strict session management, server-side session control. You just refer a banking application. If you have ever tried any net banking, right? Once you log into there will be expiration time for a particular session. So once the time is gone, then your session will be expired. It will automatically gets log out, right? So that is why the session management is also important. When developers are building application, they'll take care of the session management expiration time. JWT token. If they use OAuth to JWT token, they'll set some expiry date for the JWT token and all. And we can all see that. That is why session hijacking and taking care of the session, restricting this strict session management, implementing strict session management is important. Malware, phishing, educate the users, clients, whoever is going to use the banking application. We have to educate them so that they cannot be tapped into phishing attacks and malware attacks. They'll have some knowledge, and they'll acknowledge if they get any kind of this malware and phishing attacks. Data breaches, as I told you, encryption is a good thing. You need to encrypt the data, transit data at rest, secure the coding, minimize the data exposure, secure the server, secure the database server, secure the application servers, secure the web servers. You need to secure all these things. And generally best practices, download the apps only from official stores. Sometimes you may get the duplicate, some fabricated application that may actually steal your user ID authentication. So these things you have to take care of, your login credentials and all. Use strong unique passwords, change them off. Never share OTPs or sensitive info. Banks won't take for ask. As I told you, the security should be taken care by the banks at their end, and also client also should take care of his credentials and other info. So it is a dual responsibility. You have to observe this, right? It's not only the banking sector that's going to build applications and give it to customer for usage. So clients also have to have the basic knowledge, the minimum required knowledge how to use these applications, and they have to protect their endpoint with their device that they are using it. Enable security alerts, multi-factor authentication to make sure the layered security enabled, since you are dealing with the money, your money and sensitive information. Keep device app software updated always. Enable automatic logouts, in activity. So these are the high level things I just explained, system level security thing, how the banking sector takes care all these concerns when they are building an application for their banking usage. So we need to consider all these things. Actually, I'm not going to explain the code here, but you see the at the design level, all these things will be taken into consideration when they are building an application. Thank you.